I appreciate all the contributions that have been made on this issue, and it is great to see that this is something that all members of Parliament feel strongly about, regardless of what political party they are in this place representing, because I think we are all on board with the idea that violence against women and children need to be stamped out. I have been to visit a refuge in my electorate, and whenever people ask me why the woman doesn't just leave, I want them to visit a refuge and for them to experience how traumatic and difficult it is to be in a place like that. And that is when you have extraordinary staff who are trying their best to support women and children fleeing domestic violence. But it is a really difficult place to live. You are often an entire family squeezed into one room, having to share facilities with 20 or 30 other families. You don't have your paperwork in order to get your Centrelink payment set up. You often don't have clothes or other items that you need. It is a really difficult situation, and I take my hat off to the extraordinary people that work in that sector. They are doing extraordinary work to help support these women and children. And I often wonder why it is always the woman that has to leave the home. It is always the woman that has to flee, and we need to change that too, because she's fleeing with children, she's having to uproot their lives, she's having to figure out what school they are going to go to, how to get help and support for that family, and all that burden falls on her, and we need to change that. But I have held a domestic violence roundtable in my local community, and I appreciate all the women and men who work in this space who came along to share their views. And it was a fantastic discussion about what we could be doing locally to help support these families. And one of the initiatives that is sprung out of some of these discussions is a hub that has been designed to give women the wraparound support that they need, whether it be talking to police, legal aid, Centrelink or a local community organisation or a translator. And that is a hub where they could go and all that support is available to them. Because the police will tell you themselves that sometimes when women are fleeing these situations, they don't want to go to the police. They just want safety for their kids. They just want to be out of that situation. And so turning up to a police station is not necessarily the right course of action for them. So now these women can come to this hub, and if they want to talk to the police, they can. If they want to get legal assistance, they can. Or if they want to just be able to get that Centrelink payment or be able to get some of that practical help and support to get away from that situation, that's all available to them there. And I have been talking to principals in my local area who see the first-hand impact that domestic violence is having on students. And principals have said to me that they have seen examples where the mother has worked up the courage to leave the situation. However, she wants the child to be able to stay at the same school, but she can't find a rental property in that area to enable the child to have that continuity of care and support within the school environment. So she ends up going back to the perpetrator. And this is a situation that we have set up where women who get up the courage to leave, we then force them into refuges. We force them into situations when they can't get housing through the private rental system. And this is a government that recognises that this is where the problem lies. We need to be providing housing support, and that's why I'm really proud of the work we are doing to provide $10 billion in funding to increase the number of social and affordable housing that we will build, and a portion of that will be set aside for women and children fleeing domestic violence. And that is going to be critical. So yes, we need to help New South Wales police, yes, we need to help frontline workers, but we also need to get housing sorted for these women who are fleeing some desperate situations.